not sure who just came in, but want to make sure you guys have that presentation for today.
You will need it for the activities we're going to be doing.
And just so you know, this one is really good for remote learning, but we know it could work for hybrid if and when that ever does happen. But it's also a good one for being in person as well. And let's hope that gets there eventually. All right, Tammy, I think we should go ahead and get started. It's 8:01.
Start us off.
Recording. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to math. We've got your number. Today we're going to be doing demoing a quick number sense routine for you, which one doesn't belong. And we're going to show you an option of how to do that in a remote setting with a template. And then after that, we're going to allow you to get a make and take so that you have some ready-made ideas and things that you can use right away in your classrooms and share with your teachers if you like. Tammy and I are happy to have you here. Tammy, if you want to go ahead and, you guys don't know who we are already. I'm Jennifer Sears. I'm a K-5 math specialist here with curriculum instruction, and Tammy is joining me. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Say hi.
Hi, I'm Tammy Gaudette, and I'm the instruction support specialist for K-12 for math.
All right. Thank you. So really quick in the chat, and this is a participatory set. So you're going to be needing your presentation that we've plopped in the chat. We also want you to be vocal, unmute your mic, do what you need to do because we want to hear about what you're doing at your schools. So if you could please answer the question in the chat, what number sense routines have you tried this year with your students? And if you haven't tried any, what would you like to try? This one's a good one. And again, feel free to unmute or put it into the chat. We're happy to hear what you're doing. Try it, talk it, color it, check it. Oh, that's a new one on me. I hadn't heard that one. Mystery number. Number of the day, daily rote counting, choral counting. Yeah, Cynthia, we have Cindy, we have one of those too that we do for choral counting that we have a template for. So we have a whole series of these and we are recording them. So we are putting them up on our playlist too. So if you missed one and you want to go back and watch it, that's a good one to watch as well. Cool. All right. Look at all those different ones. We're going to go ahead and get started with which one doesn't belong.
Okay. So this has 4 parts to it. The first part is there's going to be a no symbol in the center of the slide, and I'm going to ask you to move it to which one you feel doesn't belong. Then we're going to go to a new slide and type in our rationale of why we feel it doesn't belong. And on that same slide, what we're going to do is I'm going to highlight a certain person's, and I'm going to just ask you to unmute yourself and share your strategy. If it is a strategy that resonates with you or something that you're like, okay, I hadn't thought about it like that. What you'll do is you'll take their box or the writing and either bold it, color it. I like to color the whole, either the outline or the whole box. So that's how kids could go ahead and make connections. And last but not least is you have to pick A, B, C, or D. Which one do you think does not belong and why you felt like that? And you're going to have to maybe defend that. So let's go ahead and let's try it out. Best way for math is always for us to try something before we do with our kiddos. So on slide 5, you'll notice in the center is our no symbol. Put the no symbol where you feel, which section you feel does not belong. Okay. Has everyone had a chance to move it? Perfect. All right, now we go to slide 6. And in slide 6, what I'd like you to do is find one of the text boxes and go ahead and put in why you felt like that one didn't belong. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and cold call on someone. And what I'd like to do is go ahead and click on this person. Whoever picked this one and said this, could you go ahead and talk with us with what your thinking was?
Is that the one that I'm sorry, I'm having a problem seeing this. So is that, are you, so have you
Odd
said
number.
is 11 is an odd number? Okay. So my thinking was that 11 doesn't belong because 2 doesn't go into 11. You can't. 11 just doesn't fit.
Actually, I hadn't thought of that one when I was putting this all together. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm on the 2 number hand. I probably, who knows what color I am. It says it looks like a peace sign. Could someone go ahead and talk us through that?
That was me. I thought it looked like a peace sign. Yes, it could be, but maybe it was a peace sign. It wasn't saying number 2. It was just saying peace. That's what I thought it could have been.
Again, if something resonates with you, we may, even the ones that we aren't going over, go ahead and either bold it, change the color, something that resonates with you. So let's do this one. On the word 2, it says this is only English specific. So could someone go ahead who put that one?
Sure. I saw the other options as being a representation of the number 2 that could transcend language, but this one, as it was written, was the only one that was English specific.
I like that. That's one. So when I go through these, one of the things is I try to come up with as many ways as all of them could not belong. So if you have thought of another way that 2 doesn't belong, either any of them, can you go ahead and type in on the on a new text box and put in there why that one doesn't belong? Maybe start with one that doesn't have as many. Can you think of another reason it might not belong? Okay. So now go through, if you haven't already done so, and look at some of the other things people have added and see if any of those resonate with you. Yeah, so the one right here that says the fingers are attached to the hand is actually the one my mom came up with. Listen to me. I'm one of those ones who I talk about my homework with my mom. I was like, I need another reason why this won't work. And she's like, well, it's attached to a hand, so it really isn't two. I was like, ooh, I like that.
Yeah, you could still say, I still see 3 down there too. So it could really have 5 altogether if you were thinking of it.
All right. So now you have seen your own reasoning. You've seen many other reasoning, and we've added even more and tried to think deeper into it. So go to slide 7. This is where you have to commit. You got to pick which one doesn't belong, A, B, C, or D. So what I'd like you to do is put your initials. You don't have to put your name. Put what letter you feel doesn't belong and the rationale behind it. I'm seeing a lot of A's. This is English specific. This is a word, not a number, it's a word. Someone said, if students can't read, this means nothing to them. I'm assuming that's A for Nadine. And someone else, AS, said not a number or an order. And then we have someone who said D. It could be represented for other numbers such as 11. All right. I like that. So I love how I know some of you are still writing. But if we go back to 5 and really look at 5, we were all over the place. But after our discussion and us coming together and talking about it and then trying to even find some more reasons, if we go back to 7, all of a sudden, a lot of us are saying A, the word two doesn't belong.
And it's interesting because this is specifically around a kindergarten standard where we might have kids who cannot read. So to have that kind of debate going where that could very well be around the standard where kids are not even reading.
So let's go to 8. 8 is one I just put together late last night. So now you have, it's going to run the same way. And I just want to let you guys see something that is as simple. It's not as techie as the other one where, you know, you're building all this stuff and taking a lot of time, that it's simply took a picture and plopped it up there. So go ahead and let's just really fast because I'd like to see what your guys' thought. Which one doesn't belong? Okay. Just quickly, we'll go through because now I want to know this people's reasoning. I'm such a math geek. I'm sorry. I want to see what people think about it. Go ahead and on slide 9, put in your reason why you felt like it did not belong. All right, so we've gotten several things in here. So I'm just letting you guys know up front that if we were doing which one doesn't belong, we'd probably do one a day. We wouldn't do two. I'm just doing this as a quick just demo, adding in a second one of different ones we could do. So we have gotten 2 for everyone on 3. Does anybody have go ahead and take a second and read over people's reasoning. And I did have one that I had a question on. The one I had a question on was the fact family one. 3, 7, and 10 are in a fact family. Oh, you're talking addition.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm thinking multiplication. I'm like, I don't get it. Sorry about that. Okay, does anybody, since we have 2 for most of them, 2-digit, even for a 10. For 5, it's a black, and 5 is not in the fact family of the others. Groupings of 5. Can anybody think of 3 and 7? Since the 3 had exactly the same, it's the same, just reworded. And then I had the heart shape. Does anybody have any others for 3 and 7, why it doesn't belong? Does anybody? Because I'd like to know. I'd have to go back in my old notes way back when.
I know, I'm looking at trying to see why I would think it wouldn't. Well,
Yeah. I remember we talked about this past summer and really talked, and now I can't remember what we said. Oh, whoever put that in for 10.
Oh, it's not a prime number. Ah.
Mm-hmm.
7.
Ah.
See, other applications, not just in math. We've got some.
All right, that was just for giggles because I'm a math geek. If we go to 10, you would have done the same thing as we did last time, where you pick your and stand firm after we've had a chance to discuss it. So this is moving us into slide 11. And slide 11 is just us thinking about how could we adapt this further, either for hybrid or remote, knowing hybrids may not happen, but remote setting. Any ideas? Anybody has? Go ahead, Nadine.
I like that it doesn't matter what grade level you're in. This is something that can be used for any grade level. And I also like that it's pretty like low effort on the teacher part. You don't have to spend your whole evening creating this to be able to do it as a warm up in the morning. As students come into your Google Classroom, this could be up and they could already start thinking about it, so that maybe like after 2 minutes, when you've given people a chance to come in, they can say, okay, let's talk about which one doesn't belong. And just thinking for like the younger group who struggle to type or things like that.
Yeah. If you had the younger group on 8 and 9, maybe that's where the teacher, and I'm sorry, 9 and 10, that's where the teacher is typing on there. That could be. So it's just one of those things, but all kids, no matter grade level, could do 8. As long as the iPads have been downloaded with Google Slides.
And I was going to say they could, I guess if they had a whiteboard or anything, even if they put like something on there, they could like exit out, or, it doesn't have to necessarily be within the slide deck. They could probably exit out. I think it could go on a Jamboard too, and kids could, write their thinking on the Jamboard as well. I think it's a great opportunity to be able to like do vocabulary, Nadine. There's lots of math vocabulary out there. I know she's working on vocabulary. Maybe that's part of their words that they're going to be working on, and those words are going to come up in this. So I think there could be a lot of different applications for how to use this. So we are to the part where you guys are going to get well, we're going to have some takeaways here. We want to hear your takeaways really quick. what do you think is something that you could take away from today's session? I know we just kind of chatted a little bit about how this routine could work, applications for our kiddos. Kathy said that this could be an extension to replace the number of students that say which one doesn't belong and which one would belong. So it could easily be switched out for that. What are some ideas that you guys have? What are some takeaways that you're going to take away from today's session? And either unmute or put them in the chat. We'll take either.
There could be a lot of right answers. There's not just that one kiddo who's, oh, well, he's always right, and I don't understand math as well, so I'm not going to say anything. There was a lot of reasons why you could be right, or I like that aspect of it.
It's very accessible, very low floor, high ceiling type task. Multiple representations, multiple explanations and perspectives. Definitely.
Yeah, I agree with Nadine, especially those kids that are quiet or they're hesitant or they don't think that they're good in math. I think this is something that they'll welcome. They'll feel comfortable doing, taking a risk.
Yes, risk taking. Mm-hmm. Builds dendrites actually makes you smarter. We learned that.
Yeah, our research. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
So now number 13, we're going to have more of these. And as we mentioned, we are recording them and putting them up on our playlist. So if you missed one and you want to go back and watch that, you can go and see that on one of our playlists as well. But we do have a couple coming up next week. I believe SD Mysteries, and then we're going to have 3-act tasks. And so if there's one that you guys are looking forward to seeing and an application of how to see it that you guys would like, also give us that information, because we'd be happy to help with that and get another one going, because I think these are really, really quick, 5 to 15 minutes a day and super easy to be able to do. So if you have any other suggestions, please also let us know at the end of the session today. All right, so on slide, is it 13, 14? There is a link in there for your make and take. You will just need to hover over the link. I think Tammy kind of showed you briefly. And let me just explain a little brief explanation of what's in here, and then we'll be finished and you guys can ask questions and take a look at what you need to do within there. So if you take a look at number 1, those are your instructions. You got to see it demoed, but let's say you go back today and you're like, I forgot what I did, how it was, executed, what we had to say. There's some directions for you to go ahead and follow along. We also included the template for you. And so the template does have those little places where you can add either like a picture to it, like Tammy did on the one with the 3, 5, 7, and 10, or you could add in those actual like representations with like the 2, the tally marks, the numeral 2, and so forth. So you'll have that to do. And if that is one that you want to go ahead and share out to kids within their Google Classroom or on Seesaw, that would be a great little template to also have going within small groups or as a whole group if you like as well. So, and then up in resources. So what's different about this one, it's a little different because we couldn't find K5, specific. So one of the things that we have there is we have a lot of different resources that could be images that are numbers, images that might be shapes, images that might be, you see the one that has the dogs there. It could be a graphic of another item. And then we also added some additional resource ideas because there is an actual which one doesn't belong site. Did you know that? We also found some under a mashup math. That they had some which one doesn't belong. And then we actually found a ton of this stuff on Pinterest. So Pinterest had absolutely tons and tons of different ideas. All you had to do was put in either your concept or put in a standard in the grade level with which one doesn't belong. And they had galore images for you to choose from. So really, it could be adaptable for any grade level. You can see we found math conversation even at a kindergarten level, and then just having those bare numbers. We had conversations that went all the way up into 4th grade with the prime number. So there's lots and lots of different applications. You just really have to start to think about what are kids going to say and where could be those math applications that are available to them. So you've got resources already on the ready, and that is it for today. So in 30 minutes or less, you learned a new routine and you got some takeaways. Does anybody have any questions? Nadine?
Can we share the drive or the little, where all